a finisher. What is a finisher and why be one? Okay, first, why? If we don't finish the things that we set out to do, and anytime that I'm going to talk about goals or setting out to do something, please know that I mean God ordained goals. So I don't mean good stuff. I don't mean stuff that we get distracted in and we know it. I don't mean situations where we said yes when we should have said no. I am talking about God goals. So not the good stuff, the God goals. Once we know our God goals, and you guys know them, He tells you. He's not going to leave you to wonder. Sometimes you wonder what's supposed to come first. I get overwhelmed with that. Okay, did you want this to happen this year? Like, what's happening first? Because I'm pretty busy over here, God. No, I don't talk to Him like that. But, asking Him, okay, what is your timeline for this? Are you saying to move on this now? Yes, we have to figure those parts out. But when you know it's a God goal and you know He's told you to do it, why do you want to finish it? Because living unfinished, we will always be unfinished, but our tasks do not have to be unfinished. Living with unfinished tasks leaves us frustrated and fragmented. This is what came to me like as I was falling asleep last night. And I was like, please, Lord, help me remember that. Because sometimes I get really good downloads and then I don't write them down and then I forget them. We become frustrated and fragmented. And then we're living frustrated and fragmented. And I don't know about you guys, but I've lived this way off and on for large chunks of time. And my spirit starts to wear down. Does that happen to you? So this will wear down your spirit. Being a finisher will awaken your spirit. It will revive your spirit. It will fill you. So that's why be a finisher. I love this scripture. I, of course, am reading it from the Message version because it's going to sound like I wrote it, but 2 Corinthians 8:10. So here's what I think, Paul says. The best thing you can do right now is to finish what you started last year and not let those good intentions grow stale. Your heart's been in the right place all along. You've got what it takes to finish it up, so go to it. Once the commitment is clear, you do what you can, not what you can't. The heart regulates the hands. Did you guys hear that? That's so beautiful. The heart regulates the hands. This isn't so others can take it easy while you sweat it out. No, you're shoulder to shoulder with them all the way. Your surplus matching their deficit. Their surplus matching your deficit. You guys, this is teamwork. Finishing takes teamwork. In the end, you come out even. As it is written, nothing left over to the one with the most, nothing lacking to the one with the least. I love this scripture. I love this principle. He's talking about finishing. Finish what you started last year and not let your good intentions grow stale. Did you guys know this was in the Word? I love this particular version though. But then he's talking about teamwork and how that makes the difference. So that's what I'm going to talk about here when I talk about the how of finishing. But how does finishing change your business? And this is a self question. Ask yourself that. How will me finishing these things change my business? Write it down. Oh gosh, if I finish the goal set before me, I'm going to make money. I'm going to get out of debt. I'm going to be able to hire help. I'm going to, whatever it looks like for your business, please write that down. Please get that picture because this is going to give you the fuel to finish. Now ask yourself, how will finishing change you? And remember what I mean by finishing. I mean finishing what God has called you to do right now for this time, for such a time as this. Not your 10-year goal, not your 5-year goal. You don't have to look at that. You don't even have to look at tomorrow. What does He want you to finish today to prepare you for tomorrow? Everything you're going through and dealing with and that He's giving you to do right now is to prepare you for greater. So when we don't finish and follow through and commit and get out of frustrated and fragmented mode, we are hindering our own greater. Our own greater is greater for those we serve. So how crazy that the enemy knows that if he can keep us frustrated and fragmented and not finishing, that not only does it mutually hinder us and those we but it mutually hinders those we serve. Isn't that crazy? To me, it's what's crazier is when God comes in and gives you what you need to finish and you invite Him to help you finish and you commit to finishing and you and him do this together, and you do it with a team, which is why you're here in this group, right? I'm preaching to the choir again. You do it with your team, shoulder to shoulder. My lack is your more. Like, we are finishing and helping each other. When you do that, God mutually blesses you and mutually blesses the people you serve. So there's curses and there's blessings on either side of this. So this is just so powerful to me. So how does it change you? How will it change you? It will pull you from that overwhelmed, frustrated, fragmented, place. That's how it's going to change you. I know for me, what it changed in my life, I can tell you this right now. When I came out of a season of never finishing anything to a season of finishing anything that I knew he said finish. And that doesn't mean I perfectly finish things, you guys, because I don't. It takes forever for some things, but I'm not going to give up on them. Not giving up is part of finishing, by the way. Not giving up on that calling. Not giving up on that task. Not giving up on those chores that have to be done for that thing to come to fruition. When I came out of that place of frustrated and fragmented and came to the place of finishing, the biggest change in my character for me was I no longer had a spirit of regret in my life. So I was carrying this spirit of regret. I regretted that I wasted that day, that week, that month, that year, that opportunity. We don't know what opportunities are around the corner that we force God's hand to hold back from us. Can I just say that? I believe that has happened in my life. I'm saying that from a very personal place, not about any of you. I believe that I have missed the boat a couple of times due to my lack of finishing and my lack of follow through and my lack of commitment. It's so painful. Like, I can look back and I'm like, ooh, I just know. Do we need to live in regret over that? Absolutely not. There is therefore now no condemnation. But as we move forward and look at not doing that anymore and look at growing into a finishing mode and becoming a finisher person, which, by the way, if you Google, hey, scriptures about finishing or completing the work, or you would be blown away amazed at some of the powerful verses out there where God commands us to finish the work. He commands us to finish the work. So this is no longer a feel-good message. His word is not a feel-good message when it comes to his calling, his work that he has set aside for us, his purpose for us, and the opportunities that he has for us. Our destiny is not a feel-good thing. There are souls, spirits, lives, futures, health situations, spiritual freedom resting on the precipice of us deciding to be finishers. Did you know this? Did you know this? So get excited today. This is a very powerful word. I'm excited to revisit it. We actually talked about this on one of our calls here in this group a year ago, April. So this is definitely a hot topic for us, right? This is something we struggle with. This is something we have to push ourselves to. But I want to encourage you that it is no longer an option. You know that you are called. This is not, do I feel like it today? This is an obedience or disobedience decision in front of you. Spirit of regret. Yes, Laura, she can relate to me. The older I get, the more painful the regret is. That's happening to me too. And I know we're different in age, but I'm nearing 40 and that happens to me where I'm like, Lord, look at some of the time I had wasted in my foolishness and in my selfishness. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to, and the spirit of regret comes but I don't live under it anymore. So it comes and I feel it and then I go, okay, but that's redeemed. He has redeemed that. Now he's going to move me faster, further because he's going to redeem the time. But we, as believers, we tend to overuse these terms to give ourselves permission to continue the behaviors that brought us to that place of regret to begin with. Don't we? Oh, he's going to redeem the time and then we keep messing up. Grace is not permission to keep doing these wrong behaviors. Grace is the redemption. Grace is the gift of redemption. So we have to stop looking at his grace in these things as permission. It's not permission. Yes, he's forgiven our future sins. Yes, I know that. But that doesn't give us permission. So I'm just encouraging you today. I'm kind of on fire here today. All right. How does finishing change you? I believe it will bring you to a place of no regrets in your life. And that is a very pure and freeing and empowering way to live. I believe that the satisfaction will be so deep because this isn't about each little task. There are some tasks I have to do, you guys, that are so mundane, that are so boring, and I have ADD anyway. I have massive ADD, and so I'm like, Lord Jesus, help me get through these mundane, annoying, horrible things I have to do almost every day, some of them, and help me get to the point where I can hire these out. And thankfully this year I was able to hire a few of them out, but there's many that I'm still doing because as a solo entrepreneur, and you know this, there's many things we're going to have to do that are not fun to be able to build the business and build the outreach and the influence to the place He's called us to do it to. Are you willing to do that? That's a finisher. A finisher pushes through the not so fun, the mundane, boring things to, out of obedience, to fulfill the vision that He's called us to. Finishing is obedience to seeing that thing through. Here's how you finish. So in my experience, so this is just coming from best experience because I'm not John Maxwell. And I didn't look at his book for this. So I probably would have got some good ideas to share with you had I done that. For me, this is the way that I have figured out to get out of a place of frustration and fragmentation in my life and get into a place of finishing. I set the goal in writing. I don't care if it's a notebook. I don't care if it's a whiteboard. I don't care if it's a Google Doc on your phone. There are voice recorders on our phones now, y'all. There are so many ways we can do this. But make a record of that thing that He has called you to do that you are avoiding or that you are not finishing or that you have halfway done or that you've picked up and put down. Get it in writing or get it on voice. Get it recorded. Set up accountability. I don't care how you do it. Use this group. If this is all you can afford, you use this group. Use it. Pop in here. Look, guys, I'm here for accountability. This is going to hurt, but I'm going to do it. It's time for me to change. I need you to come alongside me. Let's go shoulder to shoulder. I love this scripture. Oh, it makes me want to cry. You guys are my shoulders. Makes me want to cry. Trish, Zakia, Laura. Oh my gosh. Casey. Oh, Casey. You guys are my shoulders. You're my shoulders, you know? We need to do that for each other, you guys. This is hard stuff. Like, who said this was easy? This isn't easy. We need to be each other's shoulders, shoulder to shoulder. My surplus needs to be matching your deficit. Your surplus can help me out when I'm deficit, okay? Come in this group and use it. There are 2 of you in this group who have hired me to coach with you. That is awesome accountability. We have weekly check-ins. We have Facebook chat check-ins. We have weekly long email check-ins. And then we have every other week phone calls. We get to work on those phone calls. Trish can tell you. Jennifer can tell you. They will happily tell you what this experience has been like for them. So if you need more accountability than what you are getting in this group, come to me and let me know. I have all kinds of plans. But if you cannot afford that right now, me or anyone else, don't do it. You don't have to do it. Use this group, but get that accountability around you. Get painfully accountable or you won't move forward. You got to be doing check-ins with God in your time with Him. Get that journal out. Get that Bible out. Lord, God, another day. I had this in front of me. I didn't do it. I watched, I don't know, Real Housewives. I don't know. I don't know what's out there now. We got rid of our TV, so I really don't know what's on it. But I do watch Hulu and Netflix. So I do get the draw, to be like zoning out. Or maybe watching isn't your thing. Maybe you're a Facebook scroller, like I can be many times. I was scrolling Facebook, and I blew that 2 hours that I had to do the blog post. Get honest. Get honest with us. Get honest with yourself, and get honest with God. Maybe set up an accountability buddy. This doesn't always work. I wish it did work because we all need it. So I wish it was just easy to grab someone, pair up with them. But you and I both know that has to be such a God thing, such an anointed thing. Ask Him if that's something you want. You don't want a coach. You just want accountability buddy. Ask God to bring her or him. Ask God. For some time back in the day, my husband was my accountability buddy. He painfully pushed me. He was not my favorite accountability buddy. I'll tell you right now because he's rough on me. Okay, but you got to check in, and you got to check in constantly. You got to do your monthly, month-end checks, whether you do it first couple days of the month or end of the month. You got to have a weekly check. Mine is Sunday night. Friday, I do a little quick check of the week, before I even close out for the weekend, and then Sunday night in preparation for the new week. This is part of the way I have become a finisher. Sunday night, Friday night close out, Sunday night open up. That is part of my winning whatever strategy for becoming a finisher, you guys. So if you don't already do that, it's just sitting down with yourself, take 20 minutes to jot out, hey, it was good. It was good. We got this done. We're on target, or it was good, but that I had really set some unrealistic goals this week. Okay, that's your chance to do that. Okay, get it written down. Use Trello. Don't use Trello. I don't care. Use a fancy date book. Use a 99-cent date book. Those parts don't matter. What matters is that you do it, even if all you have is a whiteboard and a notebook in front of you. Okay, there's my girl Jennifer. I was just talking about you, Jennifer. Man, boy, does she get me working. She gets my energy up. We love you, Miss Jennifer. Okay, then you work. Okay, so you're setting your goal in writing, or you're recording it. You're setting up your accountability, and you're setting up your check-in schedule. Now you get to work. What do you need to do? Do you need a website? Do you have a website that needs work? Do you need to blog regularly? Do you need to get on Facebook Live? Do you need to start a free group? I'm not saying do all those things this week. I'm saying pick one of those things this week. What do you need to do for this goal? Do you need help figuring out what you need to do? That's exactly what I'm really, really good at in my coaching, is actually helping you. You tell me your goal, you tell me what you're trying to do, and I help you actually plan out exactly how to do that, and help you get your tasks laid out. Okay, so work and work and work some more is how you finish. That's how you become a finisher. When you don't feel like working, you work. Lately, I have had this ridiculous, annoying, not trying to sound ungrateful here because I'm grateful for the surgery, but I've just still been having this ridiculous pain. I don't always feel like working. But by golly, you guys, if God isn't growing this business, whether I like it or not, if he isn't bringing the people, whether I like it or not, that need the serving. And I just know, I ask him, I'm like, is this a lay down day? I literally ask God, I feel like I'm fighting the flow here. And then I just know, he shows me, no, I'll sit down and he'll just give me just solid peace to sit here and work. I don't have a desire to work. I don't feel good. I want to lay down with an ice pack. I want to pop a pain pill and knock myself out because I'm tired of this pain. But when I sit down and ask him, is this me needing a rest or is this me resisting? And he'll show me. You're resisting, baby girl. You're resisting. You don't want to write that blog post. You don't want to post those social media posts. You don't want to do that thing. It's boring. It's mundane. It doesn't, give you passion. It doesn't give you energy or whatever. But it is so essentially part of the process for what does give me energy, which is this here with you. Trainings give me energy. Coaching gives me energy. Sharing healthy living gives me energy. And all these other things have to be done for me to be able to do that part too. I don't get to do just one part and be a finisher. Okay? So, Laura, you're so wonderful. I'm looking at putting a winning weekend challenge together for my peeps. Ooh, I love it. I know I've missed a bunch of comments, and I will go back and read those because I know, Laura, you've been talking to me. Ask yourself as you do this process, you guys, how will it feel to finish when I get to the end of this coming month and I've actually finished something in June? How will this feel to me when I get to the end of summer and I have finished the goals I set up? I've made the money I said I would make. I've reached the people I said I would reach. I've touched these lives through a challenge, through an offering, through a coaching circle, through a, Facebook Live event, through a webinar, through an email, through whatever that looks like for you. Everything you do is touching lives. Do you realize that? No more holding yourself back because you are fragmented and frustrated and you are not finishing. No more. Do not hold yourself back anymore. They are waiting for you, the ones who haven't even met you yet, and they don't even know it. They're asking God for the next step. They're asking God to show them. They're asking God for hope. They might not even be asking God. They might be losing hope because they've tried 16 diets and 16 exercise plans and 14 pink drinks and nothing has worked, right? You're bringing it. You're bringing that hope. You're bringing that answer, and you're bringing just the breath of fresh air that they need to keep going and to realize that this is a journey, not a destination. You're bringing that to them. So when you are held back by your own struggles in this area, you are holding them back. Think about them. Do this for them. Do this for you so that you can get to the end of next week, this week that we're in right now, and say, I finished something. You can get to the end of next week. I finished another thing. You can get to the end of that week. I finished another thing. What's happening to me? By the end of June, you're going to see your income exploding. You're not going to do all these things and not see results. It's not going to happen. If you do those things, you will see results. Did you guys hear Trish? Did you hear her training? Those of you who are here with me? Were you on her training on Monday? Okay, so you heard directly when she did this, this happened. When I started doing this, I gained 40 people to my email list. When I started holding these, I gained this, right? Results will happen when you do the work. Now, look something. If you do the work and you don't see immediate results, do not be discouraged because results are not always immediate. Sometimes you see nothing, and you get discouraged, but remember who you're doing this for. You're not doing this for the results. You're doing this for the Lord and you're doing this for the person you serve, right? So you get discouraged, but you keep going. You keep going. By week 3, 4, and 5, you will be amazed because the results don't just happen, they flood. Oh, there's people. Oh, there's money. Oh, they need stuff from me. Oh, they want me to coach them. Like all this stuff starts happening. I promise you, be a finisher. I know you're a finisher. You wouldn't still be here. Most of you have been here long term. You wouldn't still be here if you weren't a finisher. I hope that this has encouraged you. 2 Corinthians 8:10. The best thing you can do right now is finish what you started last year and not let those good intentions grow stale. Your heart's in the right place. That's what it's